Hello and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. This video was taken about 10 seconds after my future proofing your preps video, and it's about Boris Johnson and his pathetic attempt at what is supposed to have been an apology about the Partygate scandal. Now, I did have something all typed up because I was so annoyed. I did have the beginning of the statement on when he's like, do you know, I need to put this into context. It's not that I'm trying to mitigate it or give excuses for it, but I need to put it into context. And I looked up the definition of context, and it's basically to give you a reason for a certain situation. And to put it in context, he was telling us about how big the place was, how many people worked there, and how few parties there was. And then he was telling us that, you know, as a leader, it was up to him to keep morale up, and, you know, people deserve to be able to do this because they were exempt from the restrictions because of their workplace. And as a leader, you know, it was, if someone was leaving, it was only right to thank them for their service. And this made it okay because it was a work event. Many nurses and doctors would have liked that. Would have liked to be able at the tail end of the day to just sit and crash with their workmates and discuss the horrific situation they'd been in. How many of us would have liked to have gone to the care home to say goodbye to our parents or family members, to just sit and spend some time with them and say thank you to the carers who looked after them. Why were they? I mean, some of them had to stay in the house and stay away from their families. And Boris Johnson has said, as a good leader, leadership meant that he could do that he could basically trounce all the laws and allow number 10 to have parties with drinks and nibbles, so many parties that the cleaners were cleaning red wine off the wall. Are you having a laugh? And he thinks that's all right and that all is forgiven now, and let's just move forward. And oh look, it's just come out tonight that Rishi Sunak's going to announce measures to help people in this cost of living crisis tomorrow. Let's focus on something else. Have we not all done that before? If you make a mess of something, you try and get someone else to do something and focus on that. We all know the playbook. We all know what he's doing. And the fact that he can say that because the team at number 10 had worked so hard, do not even go there. Every member of the NHS staff that has been working through COVID worked their socks off and deserved way more than some crappy little party with drinks and nibbles where the Prime Minister tries to tell them how entitled they are because of how hard work they've been. Just no having it. I'm not happy with it at all. So we will wait and see what Rishi Sunak tries to come up with. Whether it's a windfall tax on the energy companies, what good's that going to do? Where is the man in the street, or the man in the Clapham omnibus as it used to be called? What good is he going to get from a windfall tax? Unless they up the minimum wage, unless they up the benefits, it's not going to do any good to the man in the street. And inflation, what I think I read tonight, that inflation is going to be 14% for the poorer people in the country, but only 8% for the richer people because their energy costs are not as high in their things. And as someone put in the comments, you know, the expenses that MPs can claim while we're having to pay for everything. I think it's about time they maybe paid for their own stuff, don't you? Anyway, that's me going off on one again. So I will be back tomorrow doing one of these again when we find out what Rishi Sunak's doing, and we'll just see how much it's going to help normal people working their butt off to try and keep their head above water, or how much it's going to help those shareholders in the companies who are supposedly investing in the country. Again, I'm going to go now. Have a good night. Speak to you soon.